students of class 10. Today I am going to explain a new chapter in science. Chapter number 3. The name of the chapter is metals and non-metals. Metals and non-metals. Dear friends, in the previous class, means in class 9, you have been taught what is matter first of all. The good example or good definition what I gave you, the definition was very simple. Anything around you which occupies some space and has mass is called matter. Air, water, copper, zinc, iron, table, bench, chair, whatever you are seeing or whatever has the mass or whatever occupies some space, all are called what? Matter. Now, dear friends, among the matter has been divided in 3 categories. Actually, elements, compounds and mixture. Here in this topic, first of all you think for element. What is element? The matter which is made of identical atoms are called element. For example, copper. Copper is made of only one kind of atom, that is copper atom. Iron made of only one kind of atom, iron atom. Hydrogen is made of only one kind of atom, identical atom. Of course, later on, when we came to know about isotopes, then the atoms were same, but some of the atoms were having the different atomic masses. But in chemical properties, all those atoms of the element were same. So dear friends, in this chapter I am going to emphasize on the topic element first of all. So element is that matter which is made of identical atoms. Now dear friends, elements actually in our book it is written, according to your book NCERT, 118 elements have been mentioned. Out of 118 elements, some are naturally occurring elements, but some are synthetic elements. Means what? Man-made elements. Some of the elements which have been made by the human being in laboratory, they are called synthetic elements. So, out of 118 elements, 98 elements are naturally occurring elements, but rest 20 elements are synthetic elements. Dear friends, now you come to know elements. Some of the now you divide here elements in 3 categories: metals, non-metals and metallites. Some are metals, some are non-metals and some are metallites. I can show you some examples so you will understand. Copper, iron, nickel, zinc, gold, aluminium, silver, etc. all are metals. And non-metal you see, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, fluorine, carbon, etc. non-metals. And between metals and non-metals, some elements are there in the periodic table that will come in the later chapter. So in periodic table you will see between metals and non-metals some of the elements are there which has or which show the behavior of both metals and non-metals, and they are called metallites. So by the example you have to understand which are metals, which are non-metal, and which are metallites. So some example you must see. Examples of metal. Examples of metal. You see iron, Fe, copper, Cu, zinc, Zn, gold, Au, or etc. Beside these, many metals are there. You are knowing only calcium, magnesium, aluminium. So several examples are there. Now you see examples of non-metals. Non-metals. Here you see carbon, hydrogen, fluorine, what will happen, do you understand? Cl, fluorine, F, then nitrogen, here hydrogen, better you write the capital, nitrogen, etc. Now dear friends, I told you some of the elements which we have just like metal and non-metal. For example, silica. How does it behave just like metal? When silicon is hot, it is good conductor of heat and electricity, especially. But when it is cold, then it is non-conductor. When it is non-conductor, that means it behaves just like non-metal. And when it is hot, it behaves just like metal, because it is good conductor of electricity. So it is between metal and non-metal, and it is called what? Metallites. Metallites. Here some examples of metallites I am giving. Metallites. Here you see boron, B, silicon, Si, arsenic, arsenic, As you can write, and etc. I am writing. Many are there. What are many? Germanium. Then you see germanium, tellurium, polonium. What are those? Once again you learn. Boron, silicon, arsenic, germanium, polonium, tellurium, tellurium, etc. So in this way Dear friends, once again I am telling you, I have starts from metal here. Before that, little bit I have explained. Now, today I am going to explain about the physical properties and chemical properties of metals. If you are knowing those things, then it will be very easy to recognize which elements are metal, which elements are metal, which elements are non-metals, and which elements are metallites. So you see, very nicely you listen, and one by one I'll explain all. So physical properties of metals. Dear friends, except mercury, number 1 I am writing like that. Metals, first of all, except mercury, except mercury, all the metals are found in solid state. Number 1, solid states, solid states, or is simply write in solid state at normal temperature or room temperature. Better you write normal temperature. Here you listen. Except mercury means what? Mercury is the metal which is found in the liquid state at normal temperature. This is very important. In examination you may listen sometime, or it may be asked sometime, name a metal which is found in the liquid state at room temperature, and you can reply that is mercury. Mercury, when you are writing, then you have to write the Hg symbol also. You will write mercury and then in bracket you write Hg, mercury. Why Hg? I am supposed to reply. Dear friends, now second property you see, metals are sonorous. Metals are sonorous. You don't know sonorous. You see, whenever you are beating a metallic object, then you are getting a particular sound in metal. That is called what? Sonorous. Or you can tell metals can produce metallic sound, and hence metals are called sonorous. Third number you see, metals are malleable. Metals are malleable and ductile. Here you listen. What do you mean by malleable? Malleable means metals can be beaten into sheet. And why metals are called ductile? Metals can be drawn into wires. Here the separate question may be asked like that. What do you mean by malleability? So you can tell the property of metal by virtue of which it can be beaten into sheet is called malleability. What do you mean by ductility? Ductility. You see, the ability of a metal to be drawn into thin wires is called ductility. Dear friends, sometimes the question may be asked like that. Why are called metals malleable? So you can reply. Metals are called malleable because it can be beaten into shape. Why are metals called ductile? You can reply. Metals are called ductile because metals can be drawn into wires. So you came to know here what do you mean by what is the third property? I told you metals are malleable and ductile. Then you see fourth property I am telling. Metals are lustrous. Are lustrous. Lustrous means what? Metals have some metallic shining. Hence they are called lustrous. You see steel, how it shines, iron it shines, gold it shines. I hope you understood. After that, I am telling you, metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Many physical properties are there. So you can write metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Heat and electricity. Dear friends, aluminum wire we are using in the electric circuit because it is good conductor of electricity. Metals utensil you are using in the kitchen. Why? Because it is good conductor of heat. But among the good conductor, some of the metals are best conductor and some are poor conductor. Some examples are there. You remember these examples. It may be asked in the examination. You see which metal is the best conductor of electricity, then your reply should be silver is the best conductor of electricity. And one more thing, what is the best conductor of heat? The best conductor of heat is silver, but along with silver, copper is also. Whenever it may be asked two examples, then you can give along with silver, copper also. Now, which metal is poor conductor of heat? Then lead and mercury are the poor conductor of heat. So you remember these. I hope when I have explained metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, then I have discussed here also that which is the best conductor of heat and electricity. Again and again I am telling you, the best conductor of electricity is silver. And best conductor of heat is also silver, but copper is also taken. Now, poor conductor of heat and electricity, then what happens? Do you understand? Poor conductor you may take lead. Poor conductor of heat especially. Lead, and one more is there, mercury. Dear friends, now we are talking about the soft metal or hard metal. Metals are actually hard, except metals are hard except lead, Pb, lead, then potassium, zinc, and I am writing, and not zinc, but it is sodium. Sodium. So it is clear. You see, iron very hard, copper very hard, but here what happens? Do you understand? Lead, potassium, sodium are soft. Dear friends, one extra question is coming time to time. What is the extra question? Do you understand? Name some metals which can be cut with knife. That means what? You have to give the example of soft metals. So you can write potassium, sodium, then what we can tell? Lithium actually. It should be lithium. Lithium. Sorry. Li. So lithium. These three metals are middle. Now I have told you middle. Now I have told you the name of some metals which can be cut with a knife. Lithium, sodium, potassium, because they are soft. Now after that we are talking about the chemical properties of metals. You see the chemical properties of metals. Chemical properties of metals. Now among the chemical properties, first of all you see metals, number one I am giving you. You see metals burn or react with oxygen on heating in air. Here you see some of the metals I am giving. For example, sodium, Na plus, and for what? On what it is written, metals burn or react with oxygen. What is that? Oxygen. On heating in air to produce what? To produce metal oxides. Metal oxides. These metal oxides are basic in these metal oxides are basic in nature. In nature. Here I am going to rub the physical properties. example I am here. Sodium. It is a metal. It is in solid state, and when it burns in oxygen, oxygen is gas. Then what are the things you are getting? You are getting it sodium oxide, that is also solid, and this sodium oxide, actually what happens to be honest, it is not balanced also, because 2 sodium, so you have to write 2 sodium balanced. But one thing, oxygen is here too, we have to make here 2 oxygen, so it is not balanced. Now you see sodium, 4 sodium I have written. This is basic oxide. Why basic? Because it dissolves in, or it reacts with acid to produce salt and water. Now 1 mole potassium happens the same thing. K, 4K, that is solid. Potassium burns in oxygen to produce potassium oxide. Potassium oxide, that is also basic in nature. One thing, one question is coming. Why is sodium or why is potassium kept immersed in kerosene? Then what will be your answer? Sodium, potassium, lithium, these react with oxygen vigorously and violently, and sometimes they catch fire also. So to prevent these metals and to prevent the accidental fire, these metals are kept in kerosene. Suppose it is coming like that. Why do you keep potassium in kerosene? What will be your reply? Potassium react with air violently so that it catches fire. To protect this metal and to prevent the accidental fire, potassium is kept where? It is kept in kerosene. Same answer will be for sodium also, for lithium also. I hope you understood. One extra question I have told. Now, dear friends, after that we are talking about zinc or magnesium. Suppose magnesium is one metal, that is also solid, and when it burns in oxygen, what happens? Do you understand? You are getting what? Magnesium oxide you are getting. Magnesium oxide. Now it is balanced and it is also solid. Now same thing happens, suppose aluminium is there. Aluminium. In the case of aluminium, what happened? This is also solid, and when it is heated, then what are the things you are getting? Do you understand? You are getting aluminium oxide, Al2O3. Why like that? The valency of oxygen is 2, which came with aluminium, and valency of aluminium is 3, which came with oxygen. This is also solid. My dear students, one question arises here. Aluminium oxide is called amphoteric oxide. Why? You see, very easy answer. Aluminium oxide shows both acidic and basic properties. Means it reacts with acid as base to produce salt and water. So it becomes what? Basic in nature. But it reacts with base also to produce salt and water. In that case, it is acidic in nature. So aluminium oxide shows the properties of both acidic and basic, and it is called amphoteric oxide. Dear friends, one separate question may be asked. What do you mean by amphoteric oxide? Your reply should be very simple. The oxides of metal which shows the property of the oxide of metal which shows the properties which shows both acidic and basic properties are called amphoteric oxide. Full stop. And again you will write amphoteric oxide reacts with both acid and base to produce salt and water. Now, after that, after this separate question, we should move to another property, second chemical property. Now, one more question I remember. Name some metals which do not react with or which do not burn or which do not react with air. So you can write gold, platinum. They are very less reactive, so they cannot react with oxygen of the air. Either you heat or you try to burn them. They will remain as it is because they are least reactive. Now, dear friends, we are talking about the second chemical properties of metal. Metals react with water to produce oxide, metal oxide, or their hydroxide, You see sodium Na, that is solid, reacts with cold water. What type of water? Cold water, because sodium is very reactive, so even it can react with cold water. And cold water means what? It is liquid. Here I am writing cold water. What are you getting? Then you are getting NaOH, aqueous, and hydrogen gas also you are getting. So hydroxide along here and hydrogen gas also you should write, hydrogen gas. Now you see potassium also is very reactive. So potassium can also react with cold water to produce potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Now potassium, so I should not write. Here you see magnesium reacts with boiling water because magnesium is less reactive than sodium and potassium, so they cannot react with cold water. It reacts with boiling water, H2O, but it will be in what state? Liquid, because boiling water is also liquid only. So here I am writing boiling water. Dear friends, what happens? Do you understand? You are getting magnesium hydroxide, and hydrogen gas. One thing, in the previous case we have not balanced. You should balance. Here you see 2 hydrogen, here also you write 2 hydrogen, so 4 hydrogen, here you write 2 hydrogen. Now what happens, do you understand? So in this way 4 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen here and 2 hydrogen here, so you are getting altogether 4 hydrogen, and sodium here 2 sodium. It is balanced. Here it is already not balanced, I think. magnesium hydroxide, 2 hydrogen here and 2 hydrogen here, so 4 hydrogen. Here you write 2. Magnesium is balanced 2 oxygen, you are getting 2 oxygen. Now you see what happens here in the case of iron. Iron, it is red hot iron. Iron is less reactive than what? Magnesium. So red hot iron. Red hot iron. It is also solid only. And steam. When steam is passed over red hot iron, then we are getting ferric oxide and hydrogen gas. So here I am writing here in the gaseous state. Why? Because it is steam. Steam. What are the things you are getting? You are getting ferric oxide, Fe3O4, and you are getting hydrogen gas. I hope, how many? You see 4 oxygen, here 1 oxygen. So better you make here 4. So 4 to the 8 hydrogen, here is 2. So 4 you make here, 4 to the 8 hydrogen. Now iron, 3 iron. I hope iron is balanced, 3 iron. Oxygen 4, here 4, and hydrogen 4 to the 8. You are getting here 8. Question may be asked like that: what happens when iron reacts with water? So you should reply, when steam is passed over red hot iron, then we are getting ferric oxide. This is what oxide? Ferric oxide and hydrogen gas. You please write here ferric oxide. Dear friend, ferric oxide is actually what? It is the mixture of ferrous oxide and ferric oxide. Ferrous oxide, you know, FeO is called ferrous oxide and ferric oxide is called Fe2O3, and these together are mixed to produce what? Ferric. 1 iron, 2 iron, so 3 iron. 1 oxygen and 3 oxygen, so you are getting 4 oxygen. In this way you are getting ferric oxide, that is the mixture of ferrous oxide and ferric oxide. Now my dear students, the third chemical property of metal. Second number I have told you, third. What happens, do you understand? Metals react with dilute acid to produce hydrogen gas or salt and hydrogen gas. Example you see here, zinc Zn plus H2SO4, dilute sulfuric acid it is. Dilute sulfuric acid, this is solid, this is aqueous. What are the things you are getting? You are getting zinc sulfate, that is aqueous, and hydrogen gas. I hope you understood. Then one more, you see ZnSO4 plus H2SO4. Similarly, magnesium and hydrochloric acid, HCl, aqueous. What happened, do you understand? You are getting MgCl2 aqueous and hydrogen gas. I hope you understood. You balance it. One magnesium, but chlorine is there too. You make two, hydrogen too. It is balanced. So in this way, you understood the metals react with dilute acid to produce salt and hydrogen gas. Now one more chemical property I am going to give you, that is 4 number. Metals react with salt solutions of less reactive metals to displace them. Them means what? For the less metals, less reactive metal. Here you see, Zn is more reactive than copper. So Zn displaces copper sulfate solution to produce ZnSO4 and copper separate. This is solid. Here you see, you can write like that. In the first chapter in chemistry, you have been taught, when offline classes were going on, in the classroom itself I taught you displacement reaction. Here what happens, do you understand? Metals react with salt solution of less reactive metals, or you can write metals displaces the less reactive metals from their salt solution. Same thing happen, magnesium, suppose magnesium plus copper sulfate, then same thing happens. What happens, do you understand? MgSO4, that is aqueous plus copper separate. My dear students, so I have finished the chemical properties also.